Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Willie, and this is the encouraging word for today. This is crazy. I mean, loco to the extreme. Crazy. It's unbelievable and unforgettable, as a friend of mine used to say. And yet, I see it all the time. Let's go right to the scripture so you know what I'm talking about. The scene is the people of Israel are in the wilderness. God has delivered them out of slavery in Egypt. God actually parted the Red Sea so they could go through. And now they're in the wilderness going towards the promised land. That's the scene. Listen to Psalm 106, verse 19 and 20. At Horeb, they made a calf and worshipped an idol cast from metal. Here's the part I say is crazy. They exchanged their glorious God for an image of a bull which eats grass. They exchanged God for something else. Wow, that is crazy. And when we think about it, it's insane to exchange God for something else. Yet people do it all the time. People who once knew God, who once served God, who once came to the sanctuary and worshiped God, leave and start chasing money, chasing a job, chasing a lifestyle, chasing whatever they're chasing, and they exchange that for God. You see, you and I are created to worship God. And when we stop worshiping God, I'm not talking about singing, I'm talking about having a life of devotion to God, which includes times of worship and singing, but your whole life is a worship to God. And when we stop that and we don't worship God, there's a vacuum. And that vacuum is always filled by something else because we were created to worship. And so something else will be put in exchange for God. And whatever we exchange for God will always be less than God, will always be a mistake. And one day we'll look back and say, what did I do? How could I exchange God for something else? It's crazy. And don't let that happen to you. God is the only one who can part the Red Sea. God is the only one who will be with you through the good times, the bad times, and God is the only one who will bring you to the promised land. So today's challenge is remember what God has done in your life. The prayer focus is to ask God to show you any ways that you are putting other things or people in God's place. And take a few minutes and meditate on Psalm 106, start at verse 1 down to verse 21. An amazing story, a crazy story. God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Take care.